Hi, my name is Patti Napolitano. I'm a social worker and therapist, and I've been in practice since 2000. So it'll be 26 years this May. I've worked in the Cincinnati area in Northern Kentucky. I did my undergraduate social work internship at Campbell County Department of Children's Services, and I worked in Kenton County. I'm pretty sure. I worked in Kenton and did the other one in Campbell. They were truly like 5 blocks apart, and I walked from work to Ohio to Kentucky and back. They were so close. But that's how city and county and state and commonwealth and waterways work. And I worked with social workers at that time who wrote grants and collaborated and coordinated around that. So now I work in the Ohio Valley, and one of the policy initiatives I love is West Virginia Health Right. They have written healthcare for uninsured residents right into their state line item, and they have a budget every year of what they can provide, and they work to provide it. And they provide services to residents of Belmont County where we live because the state of Ohio does not have it. So those are cooperative, collaborative community services, and we can build on that. Ooh, that's a big nod. So this year I am working on those things. I generally take on about 3 private practice therapy interns per year. This year, I thought I would just recruit for online because I offer my students the option in person or online. And some of my students exclusively work online. So why not just try? I think it's intimidating to think, oh, I will just train people online. But I've been teaching online for quite some time, and I am a telehealth therapist. So we're adding this into the mix to look for telehealth specific. You do not need to attend Cleveland State University to apply for this internship. You can be enrolled in any accredited MSW program in the state of Ohio. And I do have an LISW as well as an LISWS. So generally when I provide a clinical private practice internship this first year as your internship, you don't see a whole lot of clients to begin with because we're building up what your caseload is going to look like, onboarding you and orienting you to running your practice on your own. So private practice is really for people who have been doing this quite some time. So I had been in the field in community health, in pilot programs, developing programs. And when I went into private practice for myself, I had more than 14 years of experience in community mental health. I don't know how I would do this without that breadth of experience. There's just not enough things. Like you can't graduate with your LPC and be ready to run a practice. You need lived experience. And usually within 5 years after graduate school is when you have your specialization. So during your internship, we're talking about your experience because I'm only going to hire you if you have some kind of life experience, peer coaching experience. I work with people who do like things through their places of worship and end up doing counseling or doing outreach or doing volunteering. And that's experience. Those are the things that we build upon, right? Relationally. So we'll talk about how we're leveraging that into your own private practice marketing, how to do that. And that's really what we work on the first semester as we're getting you ready to see patients, marketing for patients for you. And then you try it out in the spring and see, is this something that's going to work? And is this something that as you're practicing it, you're becoming more competent? And if you are, then you are welcome, and we will extend an invitation for you to work with us for that 2+ year period where you need social work supervision. And here I am. I do provide intern group supervision because I often have dependently licensed clinicians who need their supervision hours anyway. So I run supervision group that counts towards your training supervision, your 150 hours, every Saturday morning. And that's just a staple. While you are my intern, you are in those groups. If you choose to go somewhere else afterwards, you can always go to wellnesscleveland.vip and pop in. We have individual rates. We have former intern drop-in rates. We have monthly passes. There's all kinds of, because I don't want you to have to pay all up front. And yet I do have really phenomenal supervision I'll be providing you with. So maybe you've heard of me, maybe you haven't. Maybe your internship supervisor has sent you an application. I hope that you have a little bit of prep, but I'm doing online interviews. I'll be accepting applications through the 23rd, and I will be offering before spring break who's going to be starting with me this August. WellnessCleveland.vip, Patti Napolitano, common spelling.